So this story comes from Milwaukee, and I wanted to cover this story because it involves a white victim. That white man that you see in that picture right there, he was shot and injured by police officers over a simple domestic dispute. And so I wanted to cover this story because all lives matter and blue lives matter. You know, they always say, well, people like you don't talk about white victims. Well, I'll talk about the white victims. And once again, I want you to go to all the channels of all my freaking dissenters, and I want you to see if they even cover stories like this. But let's get more into this story. And so according to the family of the victim, who was Alan DeKeyser, there was a late night dispute between himself and his wife, who was Marquita DeKeyser. And the argument was over something simple about lighting, and she even called it something stupid. But then the argument escalated and Alan pulled out a firearm and he threatened to hurt himself. And so she did what a good wife would do. She called for help. She dialed 911 and she said, quote, "I called for help. I wanted help. Not this at all," end quote, she said. And so according to police, they responded to the call and they encountered a quote unquote armed suspect in the home. And then the police fired a shot. He was taken to a hospital and he is now in stable condition. But according to the original call, Marquita even told the police, even told the 911 dispatcher, "The person is my husband. He's gonna hurt himself. Please don't hurt him." She made that clear during the call. And so once again, it's going to be very, very interesting if Blue Lives Matter and All Lives Matter and White Lives Matter covered this story, because they always accuse me of not caring about white victims. And yet when I cover stories like this, I never hear anything about this story or stories like this on their channels. Don't you find that to be very, very interesting? I'm doing the work and covering these stories, and yet you hear nothing from these people. That's very interesting, right? It's almost as if they don't actually care about the white victims. They just care if I talk about it because it makes their police officers look bad. That's very interesting. I'm just curious. The question that I want to ask All Lives Matter: do all lives still matter, or are you going to cover just no cases, or what? Do you actually care about white victims? I'm just asking for a friend. I want to know, because I'm tired of covering these cases, and the people who talk the most smack never do. I find that to be very interesting, don't you?